Either one of these ring a bell? This is Mr. Davis.
No, sir.
No?
Think he beat him?
No, he got shot multiple times.
This is Donald Holmes, a Florida State prison inmate who's being questioned about a crime he committed more than 2 decades ago. What Donald doesn't know is that the detectives have uncovered a damning piece of evidence that links him to the crime scene.
No, that's a ball thing.
Well, it's not. We have it a match to your fingerprint.
To avoid getting a prison sentence for the umpteenth time, Donald makes it his mission to convince the detectives that he didn't commit the crime.
I'm talking about a man being murdered. I'm not a murderer. I'm trying to die.
On August 26, 1998, after rounding up a 12-hour shift at Yellow Cab Taxi, 44-year-old Stephen Davis decided to make a quick stop at Winn-Dixie supermarket on Navy Boulevard, Florida. After shopping, Davis returned to his vehicle, only to discover that there was an unknown person waiting inside. Terrified, Davis jumped out and attempted to make a run for it before he was shot 3 times, once in the jaw and twice in the back. Davis was a bubbly fellow raised in Pensacola, Florida. Growing up, he developed a love for the arts, and this eventually led him to pick up the guitar. Davis found solace in the simple life and made an honest living as a dispatcher for a cab company. Friends and family describe him as a kind-hearted soul who didn't hesitate to offer a helping hand to those in need. In the days following the shooting, officers obtained CCTV footage of someone leaving the scene, however. That individual could not be identified. The case went cold for 26 years until it was reopened as part of the Escambia Sheriff's Office Cold Case Symposium, and new forensic technology led them to their first ever suspect, Donald Holmes II, a multiple-time criminal offender who was only 18 years old at the time of the crime. The following footage was obtained from Escambia County Sheriff's Office.
So we're from Escambia County, Florida, Pensacola, where you're from. We're just looking into a couple cases, and I just had a couple of questions for you, okay? Do you remember back around 1998 where you were living at the time?
918 North Elm Street, if I'm not mistaken.
North End. Do you know who you were living with?
Bernie McShane, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. What about Miss Jackson, Katana Jackson?
That's the mother of my kids.
Okay. Were you living with her around that time?
I don't want to say necessarily living with them.
You weren't living with her, you just kind of hanging out?
I mean, that's my baby mama. I'm over there from time to time.
Okay. Did y'all have kids back then together?
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure out that my first daughter was born in 2000.
Okay. So you didn't quit now? Okay. Where were you working back in 1998?
National Linen, maybe I think the Navy base at the same time.
What did you do at the Navy base?
I was a cook at the bridge and working the Southern.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm asking a lot of questions. What's going on?
Yeah. We're gonna.
Yeah, go ahead and read them, and then we'll answer your
We'll
question.
read you these. Obviously, not free to go because you're in prison, right? So we just have to read you these. Not meaning you're being charged at the moment, anything like that. Just because you're not free to leave, we have to read you your
At
rights.
the moment, what's going on?
I'm just saying, you're not under arrest. You're in prison, but you're not under arrest. So we have to read these to you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Donald is currently serving a 20-year sentence in Mayo Correctional Institution, Florida, for his role in a 2012 home invasion robbery where he was found guilty of robbery, fleeing, and aggravated assault. Just a decade earlier, Donald had served another 8-year sentence which ran from 2003 to 2011. Having been incarcerated since he was 23 years old, Donald practically grew up in prison, and by the time he is released from jail in 2032, he will have spent more than half of his life behind bars.
You want to talk to us?
I don't even know what's going on. Saying talk to you.
Okay, well, and you understand that you can stop talking at any time. That's the main point.
Yeah, we just want to do that.
Just because you say you want to talk to us now doesn't mean in 5 minutes you can say I don't want to talk anymore, right?
But my thing is, when I first came into the office, I wish you would have asked me this question before I even asked any question.
Well,
I don't even know what's going on.
We haven't asked you questions about the case yet.
What is the case?
That's why we read you this before we started in on the questions of the
just
case.
making small talk.
Those were just getting a couple little. That's audio and video recorded camera right there. Okay.
Audio and video, and all this other stuff.
Yeah, just to make sure, you can't say that we roughed you up. We can't say you put your hands on us, anything like that.
Just for everybody to be protected on it. All right.
Do I got the right to feel nervous like I'm?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't understand
Well,
what's going on. It makes me feel kind of crazy.
There's a procedure, obviously we got to go through with all this stuff, okay? You're going to get your answers here. during this interview. But we got to go through some of this stuff
Procedural stuff.
before we get into that. You understand that?
Right.
So yes, I absolutely understand being nervous. Okay, even if nothing's going on. I mean, you're sitting. I mean, I've never been in your shoes. I've never been, shackled, in an interview room. Not even an interview room. This is basically a broom closet. With two investigators talking to you. So absolutely, you have a right to be nervous. All right, man. So what Sergeant Rasmussen was asking you, so back around 1998, okay, there was a crime that was committed in Escambia County, okay? Your name has been brought up in that. So we want you to be able to clear any kind of, accusations or doubts or anything like that.
Right.
So that's why he's asking you where you work, to try and make up an alibi for you. You said you.
I don't need an alibi because if I did the crime, guess what? 1,000% I'll admit that I did the crime and I do time for it. You know what I'm saying?
So then,
I'm a man.
And I appreciate. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna bullshit you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna try and play any tricks on you. Okay.
Right.
We just drove 4 hours. I had to wake up 2 hours early
Right.
to come down here and talk to you. I'm not interested in playing games. I ain't interested in bullshitting you. Okay.
Most definitely.
So we're gonna talk man to man. And we're gonna get to the bottom of this, whether you're involved or you're not involved.
Right.
Okay. But like Sergeant Rasmussen said, your name came up in it, so we got to come talk to you.
Yeah.
We talked to other people. Okay.
We've talked, you're the last one on our list. We're going down a list of everybody's name that was brought up. We just got you on our list.
Right.
All right.
What about those names on that list? Would I be able to see the names that's on that list?
No,
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
So, but let you know, we did talk to Katana.
Katana.
I think you talked to her last week or something like
Yeah.
that.
I think it was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
She said y'all were living on and off together. That's why we just kind of said, you have 2 kids with her or 3? 2. Okay.
So you still talk to her often?
No, I haven't talked to Katana in a good minute.
You get to talk to your kids and.
Well, I'm in the box, so we get to call 5 minutes on Sunday, so.
Okay. How long you been in the box for?
I've been in the box now since October.
Damn, dude, what? What's the deal? Somebody fuck with you?
I mean, we're in prison.
Yeah.
Things get out of hand, you gotta take care of your business.
No, I feel you.
The fact that Donald is currently in solitary confinement for beating up another prisoner provides a glimpse into the kind of person he is. For the detectives, knowing about his violent nature and criminal past could help determine his capability of committing such a gruesome crime.
Like I said, man, we're not here to bust your balls or fuck with you or anything like that. But there's that Winn-Dixie right there. You know what I'm talking about? Right there.
Navy Boulevard.
By Warrington Village.
Of course, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
That's the only other than.
Did you ever frequent there?
Sometime from time to time.
Okay.
I'll let you know more about all that than I do.
I
So,
didn't steal anything.
no, it's not about stealing or anything. This was around August 1998. If you can try and think back, I know it was a long time ago.
26 years.
Yeah. So you and Katana supposedly got into an argument, and you left going to the Winn-Dixie. I guess you had to work that day, or were supposed to be working that day at the galley. Kind of remember that time frame?
I don't recall.
Okay. Well, we have a homicide happened in the parking lot of that Winn-Dixie.
Almost definitely didn't do no homicide.
Okay.
One could argue that he may be genuinely struggling to recall and needs some time to juggle his memory. But this isn't shoplifting or a bar fight we're talking about here. It's murder. Taking a person's life isn't something you just forget. It's something that stays with you for life. That is, unless you develop some sort of memory loss. It may have been 26 years since the shooting happened, but it's difficult to believe that the memory of that day is now a blur for Donald. The mere mention of the date, August 1998, would have been enough to bring hunting flashbacks.
Well, we're talking to people, some people gave your name up as somebody that frequented Winn-Dixie. Okay, that's why we're here. Not saying you did it, we're saying you frequented Winn-Dixie, and we're trying to put the pieces together. Okay, you have a couple of trespasses from Winn-Dixie. You and Katana got in a fight in Winn-Dixie. Y'all had got trespassed not too long before this incident happened from there. You were seen going back there, calling cabs from there, things like that. Okay?
Which none of that's against the law.
No, it's not. I'm just giving you that we have you in the area and we were trying to, refresh your memory of you being at Winn-Dixie.
No, I don't recall.
Okay.
And like I said, he talked to Katana, and I read some of his notes, she said she doesn't ever remember you carrying a gun or anything like that back in
I'm
the
not a gun, so I'm a working man. I'm working at National Landing, and I'm working at the Navy.
Indeed, he was a working man whose time on the streets paid off so well that it landed him in prison. Despite catching many felonies and spending a considerable amount of time in jail, Donald is still trying to convince the detectives that he lived an honorable life void of crime. Soon, the detectives will hit Donald with the undeniable piece of evidence they have against him.
Did you ever own a gun for protection or anything back then?
Yeah, I'm a working man.
Well, I mean, I'm a working man too, but I still have multiple guns to protect myself and my family. Okay? Did you ever hang out around anybody that carried guns frequently that you can recall?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen people with guns before, but I haven't been around nobody that's shooting at people with guns. I'm not that type of person.
Okay. Anybody ever hang around, talk about, possibly killed somebody around that time period?
If people talk about killing people, I would take these two fingers and stick them inside my ears and make them touch.
Okay.
Because when this type of stuff happens, everybody that they told who did the killing, guess what they're gonna come do? They're gonna come back and kill you too.
How long you been in here now?
I've been in this prison system. I got out of the feds in 2011. I called these 20 years in 2012.
Okay.
So you got out of Fed prison in 2011?
Yes, sir.
How long were you in there?
I'm hoping that it's not around this time. I'm not even sure when I went to the feds, but I got out in 2011.
Okay.
93-month period.
93 months, you said?
So about 8 years, so about 2003.
Probably so.
Okay.
And then, so you got out in 2011.
Yes, sir.
And then, when you say you
2012, I called these 20 years and 13 more feds.
So,
Yeah, I didn't have no.
When are you supposed to be getting out of here?
2029 is my earliest. 2032 was my latest.
Okay.
that's what, 85%?
Yes, sir.
2029. Where was I going with that?
Listen, I didn't sold drugs before.
I'll ask you if you recognize this picture. Okay. You recognize this man at all?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
He was a taxi cab driver.
He frequented the area back where you lived back then. He drove a yellow taxi cab.
I never seen this goddamn my life. I wouldn't say no. I never sold him drugs.
Okay. His name was Stephen Davis. The name ring a bell at all?
Man, I didn't heard, like, when people in my city get heard of somebody like that, everybody knows it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that name is familiar, but it's not like familiar as to where I can say, well, I know this guy did that and the third. They're just like Lil Ricky and D-Man. They're just like people that's in the city who just watch out for somebody that's end up getting hurt.
So
that name right there don't ring a bell like shit.
the name Stephen Davis does?
Right.
Okay. I was gonna say if you had heard anything, he was I think he was
Old fat white guy.
Yeah.
That ain't somebody.
I wanna say he was in his 60s.
Well, why did they?
That's what we're trying to piece together. So he's obviously was our guy that got killed.
Right.
And we're trying to piece together why he got killed. Okay? And what we've got so far is he was in that Winn-Dixie in an old retired yellow cab and gets shot. We've got a couple pictures here. I want to see if
Show me the car.
Yeah, that's what
See if you recognize the car.
you recognize this car at all? Old yellow cab? You recognize the Winn-Dixie though, right? On Navy Boulevard?
I can't say that when these look like Winn-Dixie that they built in Pensacola.
Well, you were living, were hanging out with Katana across the street from it back then.
In that time.
In that time frame is what I'm saying.
1990.
There's another pictures of the car.
Yeah, I don't recognize their car or their guy fellas.
Okay, fair enough.
And these are shitty pictures.
Yeah.
They're 26 years old.
It's didn't have the best quality cameras back then.
Right.
Let's go with these.
So you don't recognize the car, you don't recognize him.
I mean,
Did you frequently take a cab back then, or did you have a car of your own?
No, sir. I mean, if you catching cabs and stuff, man, they got all that stuff on record, so you can call in and see who the dispatcher is.
Well, not back in 1998. That's the thing we're kind of trying to figure out. You know, records back then aren't exactly digitalized like they are today on computers.
No, they ain't around no more.
Yeah.
So I gotta be real with you. For the duration of my time being, as y'all can see, I've been in these institutions and these bureaus. As far as me killing somebody or something like that, that's not my style.
Okay.
No.
And I appreciate it.
So he really wants us to believe that he is suddenly suffering from dementia and cannot recognize an area he allegedly frequented with his girlfriend. If anything, his refusal to acknowledge his familiarity with this location proves that he's got something to hide. For now, he still believes that he's been invited to speak with the detectives because he regularly visited the location. Little does he know that he is a prime suspect, and they were about to confront him with a bombshell piece of evidence.
What you got to pay prison for? I'm guessing dope?
Dope.
Dope. Okay. A little bit of dope. I mean, that anything violent? I mean, in your...
The only thing I had violent in my thing, I think I slapped Katana one time when she messed around and was cheating on me.
Yeah, we saw that report.
Right, other than that, you ain't seen me doing nothing crazy. Even with this home invasion robbery that was here, you can even read the written report, man, I'm not a violent person or nothing like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you had a gun in this one, right? Okay.
But you didn't shoot nobody?
You didn't, yeah.
No. Not one bullet went off, none of that right there.
Okay. Do you happen to remember what kind of gun it was back then? The one you're in for now?
It was a 22. That's what they said in the federal court. I thought it was a 25.
Okay. Was it like a revolver or like a semi-auto?
It had like a little stick thing that you put in the bottom of it.
Okay. Had a magazine on the bottom?
Right.
Okay.
I remember the guy, the FDLE, taking it out in the courtroom, showing that it was operational. And I never forget that moment.
And that was for Fed, or was that for this
Like I
case?
said, for the feds in this case, I caught the same charge for the feds and this case.
Oh, you got charged federally and state? Okay.
Your sentence is concurrent?
Yeah, the 160 something months that I took the feds for on lost trial around concurrent with the 240 that I got in this.
Okay.
Just a few minutes ago, when detectives asked whether he owned any guns, Donald claimed he wasn't that type of person. Now he admits to using a weapon during the home invasion crime that landed him in prison. If Contradiction were a person, its name would be Donald in block letters.
So I'm going to show you two more pictures. I want to see if this rings a bell at all. Okay? Either one of these ring a bell? This is Mr. Davis.
No, sir.
No?
Did they beat him up?
No, he got shot multiple times. In the back.
No, sir.
Didn't even have enough to face the man when they shot him. Shot him right through the back.
So, now, I mean, obviously you ain't seen that, but you want...
Yeah.
Well, what I'm getting at is, were you at that Winn-Dixie that... And just let me finish, because I know what you're going to say no. But were you at that Winn-Dixie that morning waiting on a cab or something and saw this happen? You run out there to help the guy or anything?
Listen, if something like that would happen, man, I'm an accessory to whatever going on. It'd be by right, by law, to let somebody know what's going on. I ain't doing no.
So you never saw him get shot or saw any of that go down?
Not that I know of, not that I recall, sir. Just being honest with you.
Okay.
I don't recall nobody being shot.
Okay. So...
Let me ask you this real quick. Have you ever seen anybody get shot? I ain't going to ask you specifics. Have you ever seen somebody that's been shot?
Of course.
Okay. But that was like back in the days, like your younger days and all that, or
TV.
TV? Well, I'm talking about
in person. We're talking about in person.
No.
So you ain't never seen anybody get shot in person?
No.
You ever try to help anybody that's been shot?
No.
Okay.
Real quick, I just thought of something. Back around 1998, you went out of town. Katana said you went somewhere. She didn't know where. You remember it said you were gone for about a month. Do you remember where you could have went around that time? It would have been around Christmas of 98 or January of 99.
Bus records should be able to tell you that. Airplane records should be able to tell you that.
Well, not if you drove or rode with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Do you know anybody that lives, like Virginia or North Carolina, South Carolina, anywhere up there?
I'm pretty sure y'all fellas know that I went federal in Virginia, but I don't think I ever.
Actually, I didn't know that was in
I don't know
Virginia. I knew you got arrested for some dope. I didn't know that was the federal case.
Right, it was in Virginia.
Okay. When do you think you went to Virginia around that time? Do you remember?
I don't think it was around that time.
It wasn't around that time?
If I don't recall it, I just know for a fact that I have never been that far out of town in like 98 or something like that.
Okay.
I'm working two jobs, like I said. How can I go out of town when I'm working two jobs?
I got you.
Don, what year were you born in?
I was born in 1980.
Okay. So you would have been like 18
Yes, sir.
at this time. Okay.
So, is there anybody you can remember you were hanging out with around that time other than working and hanging out with Katana?
Like I said, I'm going to National Lending, man. I have to be there like 8 o'clock.
Well,
When I get off, I go to NHTTC, building 39, something before 8 o'clock. When I get off from there, man, I don't got time to do nothing else.
What is national limit? I don't know what national limit is.
It's a place where they wash clothes and stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You said you didn't have a car of any kind. Let's see. Did you have any relatives that lived over near Marino Courts back then?
My father.
Your father?
Yes, sir. I don't know if he stayed back there in 98, but I know my father stayed in Marino Court once I did get in contact with him.
Okay. You didn't remember when you got in contact with him?
I'm not really sure, fellas.
Were you like an adult or like a teenager?
I don't recall. I'll be lying to you if I was to try to get
No, I appreciate it.
From Donald's background, you can tell he lived and breathed crime, from minor offenses like trespassing to major ones like domestic assault and armed robbery. It's impossible to believe that someone whose rap sheet could double as a short novel has never experienced the level of violence that the detectives are asking about.
So, let me ask you one more question. With this, Mr. Davis, you said you're never at Winn-Dixie, you don't know anything about that case or remember seeing the scene, right? Okay. Is there any particular reason that your fingerprint would be in Mr. Davis's blood on his vehicle?
No, it shouldn't be. I don't know.
It shouldn't be.
No.
Okay. Well, there's no other thing. It's not ringing a bell that scene happening or anything like that.
No, especially what you're saying, my fingerprint being on this guy, being in this guy's blood. That's a lot.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you it's not a lie.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't know anything. I'm gonna be blunt and honest with you from the get-go. Okay. Maybe not from here. All right. Sergeant Rasmussen is assigned to the cold case unit. Okay, the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. I'm assigned to the homicide unit. Okay. This is a case they've been working, well, obviously since 1998. Okay. Maybe not him particularly because he'd have been about 8 years old back then,
Right.
and I'd have been like 16. But, I don't know much about this case. I don't know the ins and outs, the details, any of that. I didn't know about this case until like a week ago when they came to me and was like, hey, can you go with him to go talk to this guy? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I read all the notes, I've looked at the pictures and all that.
Right.
And, obviously it's not my case. I didn't start working this case. Generally, when I get called, there's a body laying in the street or something, I go out there and I work it from the beginning. So I can tell you
You're
that
trying to put a body on me, man.
we're trying to figure out what's going on.
We're trying to, you gotta remember, I took over this case in early December. He got into it last week.
Right.
There's been 25 other investigators that have gone through this case file, and we're trying to look at it from our side of it and go through all the steps. And your name has been in this file, but nobody's ever talked to you. So that's why we're here talking to you, trying to get your side of what could have happened or to explain any of this.
I don't understand what's going on. Never seen this guy, heard this guy.
Okay.
Y'all saying that my fingerprint is in this guy's blood.
Specifically your pinky print.
No, that's a bald face guy.
Well, it's not. We have it a match to your fingerprints.
It's not a lie. I'm not saying there's not some other reason that it's there. That's why I asked you if you've ever seen the cab, if you've ever seen this guy, any of that.
Right.
I'm not trying to put a body on him. I'm not trying to accuse you of doing nothing, anything like that. I'm trying to find a reason that your pinky print is there. Okay.
I can't recall or give you a reason if you're saying that my fingerprint is in it, but I'm telling you straight up now, my fingerprint should be nowhere near a cab, man, driver, blood, nothing like that.
And that's why I asked you, did you go and help? Maybe you see this happen and you went to help. And
I don't recall any of that right there occurring or happening.
Okay. Well, that's like I said. You'd never been interviewed, so we wanted to come down and let you give your side or try to explain some of the things we're finding from your own words instead of, this person said this or this person said this. We're going to come to you and give you the opportunity to give your side of the story.
Right.
Okay. Whatever that may be.
And to explain some of this stuff away, you know, this is the floor is yours. This is for you to say whatever you need to, or whatever you want to, you know, at this point, we don't know, you know, all we can say is there's a dead body and your pinky print. That doesn't mean your pinky print's left then. It might have been left before, you know, so.
But it's his blood.
That was serious.
100%.
Yeah. And like I told you, from the beginning, I ain't gonna bullshit you, I ain't gonna lie to you, and I haven't, nor will I. Because that's not how I do business. Because I'm gonna tell you this. In 10 years, when you get out, and you come back to Escambia County, and something happens, somebody gets shot, somebody gets robbed, or whatever, and you know some information, you're gonna say, or God forbid, and I don't wish this on you or anybody else, something happens to one of your kids, and you get some information.
Right.
I want you to say, investigator teammate, always treated me good, he treated me fairly, he talked to me like a man, he looked me straight in the eye, didn't look down on me. I can trust him, he's gonna do the right thing, I wanna talk to him. Right? So, and I have that relationship with people in the street right now, okay? I grew up in Warrenton. I grew up in Myrtle Grove. Like, me and you're a couple years older, you know, but, you know, I know a lot of the people out there. You know, I wasn't raised with a silver spoon in my mouth and none of that shit.
Ask them about me, one thing they'll tell you, man, I ain't doing no killing out there.
So,
I done sold some drugs, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I done did some crazy things, but killing people, nah, I ain't into that. Not gonna wear nobody for nobody.
Cold cases are exceptionally difficult to crack due to several challenges, such as lost or contaminated evidence, loss of memory of witnesses, or investigation oversights. Cases like these are often hard on investigators and families of victims, and the pressure to solve them is often higher. Although fingerprint evidence may seem indisputable, the case can easily get thrown out when someone like Annalise Keating is leading the defense. An uncoerced confession, however, is a high-value piece of evidence that cannot be easily challenged. And to obtain this from Donald, the detective shifts tactics and tries to build a relationship with him by sharing intimate details of his past. By now, it is clear that Donald will pretty much deny any and everything to avoid going to prison, but how far was he willing to go with this?
Did you ever hang out with anybody who was doing robberies around that time? Knocking off cab drivers or anything like that?
I can't necessarily say that either.
Okay.
but, you know, I want to lay it all out there, you know, and we don't know why this guy was killed. Okay.
Right.
We don't know if it was a robbery. We don't know if he had some kind of beef with somebody. You know, obviously he's 26 years old at this point.
Right.
Was it an argument that got out of hand?
We don't know.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all asking me questions as if I really know the answer to these questions. It's how you direct the questions. You're saying,
We don't know them either. That's why.
Listen how you're saying it though. Are we trying to find, was it a robbery that got out of hand? Is it some beef or something? But you're asking these questions is in insinuating manner.
Well, I'm not insinuating anything. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know the reason. Okay. For all I know, the guy pulled the gun on whoever shot him. You know, for whatever reason, they took the gun and shot him in self-defense. I don't know. Okay?
Hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm sitting here talking to y'all on video,
Yes,
audio, this, that, and the third, and I asked for no lawyer, nothing. So evidently that's to let you know that, hey, I don't got nothing to hide in this situation. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I don't want to mess around and continue to talk to y'all, and then the story gets spent around or something, and then I be in a fucked up position, God forgive me for cussing. You know what I'm saying? About something that I know nothing about. Like I said, I used to be with Katana back in those days, and me and Katana have been together forever. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Things that happened back in 98 with this guy or whatever, I can't recall. I'm being honest with you, 1,000%. Okay. So I don't want to mess around and put myself in a fucked up position where I'm looking at a goddamn body after doing 20 years.
I respect that.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to do no life sentence behind nobody, behind some shit that I don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay. God forgive me for cussing.
I understand.
Yeah, and I respect that. Okay?
Wow. I'm just trying to be helpful as I possibly can. Yeah. But as far as me telling on somebody who probably could I hear that, it's out too. I'm not telling on nobody.
Well, and I respect that and understand it. My family's from Montclair, Mayfair too. Trust me, I grew up around there the same. Problem we're having is explaining how your fingerprint could have got in his blood on the car.
And I'm trying to explain to you that's virtually...
Nobody else has your fingerprints except you.
And I'm trying to tell you that's virtually impossible for my fingerprint to be in some blood into that car. Okay, well, we have your fingerprint in the car, so how can we explain it? Let me see the fingerprint.
Well, I don't have the fingerprint with me. It's in evidence, obviously.
Well,
But it's been run through FDLE and through the FBI database, and it is matched to your fingerprint.
Well, I'm gonna say this right, fellas. I don't know what y'all talking about as it relates to this right here. I'm not trying to be crass or be an asshole or be a dick about it. But y'all talking about a man being murdered. I'm not a murderer. I'm a child of God. You know what I'm saying? At this time being, I just want to know, like, where do this go from here? If you're going to charge me with it, charge me with it, we just have to do the procedure. But I ain't killed nobody, I ain't no murderer. I'm in prison for a strong arm robbery, whatever they charge me with. Mm-hmm. And if I did anything wrong, guess what? I can tell you, hey man, I did that shit, this is what it is. Strike it up, help me out.
You're not under arrest.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you something because
You're not under arrest. Like, we're trying to figure out what's going on. You know?
I'm telling you 1,000 times, I don't know what's going on as it relates to that situation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Just being real with you.
Yeah, okay.
1,000 things that occurred in my city, and I probably know about a million things. But that one right there, I can't give you the technicality details on that shit right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, had you ever heard about it? Did you see it on the news or anything back
Like I said, I
then?
stay in Florida, in Pensacola. Anytime something like that occurs here, but I'm in prison again about things that's happening right now to this day. You know what I'm saying? My son got killed in 2021. So, you know, I think about that time.
What was that stolen?
The Mayor's Nicholson.
Where was that at?
The high speed, that was speeding the legits.
Was that the one on, I think it was on Michigan Avenue?
Yeah, went through the buildings.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Throughout the interrogation, Donald fails to provide reasonable answers to any of the detective's questions, nor does he attempt to prove his innocence to them. He remains almost emotionless in a situation where he is expected to show some level of anxiety or worry.
My son got killed in the car. You know what I'm saying? A dead body right here with a guy that's, and it's an old man to that. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of bothered me. And then at the same time, y'all seen that my fingerprints is in there, and that kind of bothered me as well. So it's like, let me put the details together. Y'all tell me what's going on.
Would you be willing to take a polygraph test, a lie detector test on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate it.
So, I don't have any more questions. I was
No, I
just
think-
talking about you. Do you have any questions for us? Anything you want us
I
to
don't even know if y'all got any follow-up, anything. I'm more than happy to ask. You know, I don't need no lawyer or anything like that because in my spirit and my heart, I know I'm innocent. You know what I'm saying? I thought y'all was going to come here and say some other stuff, like another drug case or something.
No, I don't give two shits about drugs.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the skin account like, oh man, they didn't call me for a closed indictment on some drugs I didn't sell. I said, oh Jesus, y'all talking about this.
You don't have any additional charges. You
No.
don't have no warrants. You don't have none of that. We are just here to talk to you.
Right.
Like I said,
This guy.
I picked up a binder of stuff and I sat there for 2 weeks looking over everything, and I realized Katana had never been interviewed and you had never been interviewed.
And when you want to ask yourself, why is that?
I don't know.
It's been 26 years they got
I've done 12 years on patrol. I just moved to this unit and started working these cases.
Right.
It's a fresh set of eyes.
Right.
That's why they swap it so often. So, you know, he's been an investigator for 8 years. He gets in a routine of doing something. Somebody new comes in and looks at it that don't know shit about how he does his job.
Right.
And so I look at things from a different angle. And that's kind of how this is. And I realized, like I said, you'd never been interviewed. She'd never been interviewed. So I'm going to talk to both of you about it.
Boss you, bust your balls, man.
No. That's all. I'm just explaining why you're getting interviewed now on this case.
But I was just explaining to y'all as to why the emotion changed.
No, I understand. It's an emotional thing.
Right.
So,
But you don't have any questions for us?
I mean, if you got any questions for me, let me know. If you leave me a card or something like that, I appreciate it.
Well,
we'll give it to him so he can give it your stuff when you get out of the box.
I don't know the process. You know, we don't work in prisons or anything like that.
Yeah.
They come to the museum.
And would you write what I was talking to about on the back of that? So when I talk to my family, I want to be able to give them some insight and y'all names and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they can. Is your number on there?
No.
Write your desk number on there. That way, if they have any questions, you talk to them, and they have any questions, they can reach out to us. And you know, when we get back to the office today, he'll probably keep looking into the case because it's COVID. I'm not. I got enough active homicides that.
Yeah, there's a lot of killing going on in Pensacola.
About 30 a year now. So
crazy.
back in, you know, hell, even in 2011, 2012, you know, we were only having 12 or 13 a year. Now we're having 30. So we're at, since January 1st, we've had 4 homicides, plus I worked a home invasion where 4 people were shot. And plus, we had another shooting where 2 people were shot. So it's just, it's no, I ain't got time. I don't look at cold cases. They just, he's by himself back there, and need somebody to come with him. So they asked me to. But yeah, if you have any questions, anything like that, let us know.
So, like I said, I'm gonna give it to him and put in your stuff, but my name and badge number, that's the case number it's reference, right? And it's a 1998 homicide, okay? And then if you need anything, call.
Right.
There's a number there, and there's also the number there.
Right.
And have any of your family members call if they have any more questions, or you need to get up with me about anything. If you go back and start thinking on the case and you say, well, I remember hearing this or seeing this or something like that.
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not even gonna sit back and think about after I've seen that. I don't want to.
I understand. Okay.
If you have any questions, anything for me, you know where I'm at.
Okay. I appreciate it, man.
Donald continues to deny, but the detectives know that it isn't accidental for his fingerprints to magically appear at the crime scene. One way or another, he was present at the scene either as a good Samaritan who tried to help the victim or as the culprit who caused the harm. And let's face it, someone who knows they're innocent wouldn't be so quick to refute evidence, just like Donald is doing.
Once they clear, let me tell you.
I said no.
So you were working, you said at NAS back then?
No, the Navy base.
Yeah.
NAS. Yeah.
Naval Air Station, NAS.
I remember working at a prison by that time, man. I was cooking down there and working at National Lane at the same time.
The prison down there, or the one on Softly? The military prison on Softly?
No, the one is on the base over the bridge over by the water.
Oh, I think they closed that one. It's now up off Softly Field Road.
Yeah, I used to be a cook over there.
Okay. I just had to stand out that 4 hours in the car is killing my legs.
So you didn't have no criminal record or nothing, huh? Or else they wouldn't let you on the base back then.
Like I said, man, I'm not like a full-fledged criminal, a career criminal or something, man.
Yeah.
At a point in time in my life, that's what I just decided to try something new, you know what I'm saying? And then went from there to the feds, from the feds to this, and it's like, it's over with, man.
Your first case was a Fed case?
No, my first case was a fleeing and eluding, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
That gets you every time. Damn driving, dude. Driving. I want to tell you right now, when you get out of here, get your driver's license, do everything correctly, because driving will get you every time.
They'll put you back in here for driving before they will anything else.
Right.
Don't know why. But you get caught with a bad license, they'll put you in prison before they'll put it on drugs.
I know.
You work in the kitchen here or anything?
Work nowhere in this building. I sit in a cage 24 hours a day.
Hey, boss, you mind if he closes this door back?
Yeah, go ahead.
What you in the cage for?
Well, I had a guy, man, talking about he was going to stab me. I happened to beat him to the punch.
Did you stab him or did you whoop his
No,
ass?
I'm not no stabbing guy. I ain't trying to hurt nobody like that. Like I said, I just beat them to the punch. They got this guy to hire to do something to me, so really, I just hit him on the shoulder with a lock on the net pad just to get away from the situation. So,
Knock him out?
No, I ain't trying to hurt the guy like that. Just talk.
No, but sometimes you get hit right there and knock him out.
Just hit him on
in the
shoulder.
fight.
Hit him on the shoulder and the back. That officer was right there. You know what I'm saying? I got something to talk to the kid and explain to him. Like when people asking you to do something like that to somebody, it could be detrimental. Because what if that person got a murderous spirit in them and they mess around and kill you? I told myself, I did not to hurt you, but to remove myself from this environment, this situation, that way I can go to a different prison. Now I have to be around people that want to hurt me and do me bad.
Hey, did you get moved or is it
Well, they moved into the CM unit, which you got me in the box. I'll be back here for about 6 months in the box, and then I'll leave from here and go to a maximum prison for about 6 more months being in the box. Then I'll be released back to a compound.
What prison you got moved to?
I'm not sure yet. Maybe FSP or something like that. Closed management.
all that just for whacking a guy with a lock?
Man, we in prison. I'm gonna say that again. Some of the things that you see and go through in here just make you want to change, man.
Fair enough. Just means you don't want to come back, right?
Never coming back. God can help me prevent it. I've been writing books. I'm up at book number 52. I plan on writing 100. When I get up out of there, man, I want to try to be, how should I say this? constructing them in society.
You can tell that Donald already has a perfectly laid out plan for life after his release. At this point, he pretty much has one foot out the door and has already claimed a spot at the family's 2032 cookout. For someone with this level of anticipation, there is little chance he'd admit to the crime and risk extending his stay in prison.
What kind of support system you got when you get out?
Well, I do got brothers, and I got aunties, and I got uncles. Most of my kids. And plus, I'm a self-contained unit. I'm independent. I'm pretty known how to.
I know, man, but you don't need help. You spend 20 years in here, getting out, getting back on your feet. You're gonna need your family.
A lot's changed in 20 years.
Right.
So you're gonna need your family. You're gonna need a good support system, or else you're gonna end up back in here. It's gonna be some bullshit where, hey, I need to pay my cell phone bill.
I'm gonna look at you in your eyes and tell you that I never come to prison again in my life.
I pray that you don't.
Before I do that, guess what? I hold a sign up saying I work for food sweep on the bitch to go buy me a rake and a lawnmower and cut grass.
Hey,
Ain't no shame in that.
the world's changed. Cutting grass, people make a hell of a living off cutting grass nowadays.
It's horticulture. But I believe God, He done blessed me with a gift this time.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm a bit off.
Good.
And if I'm a calling, I'm a bit off.
Well, we'll look for your name on some books.
I wish I can give you one to let you read it. You can tell me what you think.
I would say maybe next time, but hope we ain't coming down here again.
Yes,
So,
please don't come back.
so when you get out, and how much we said 29?
Yes, sir.
So 5 years. So
The 20 years almost over. I didn't walk 20 down, man.
so 5 years I'll still be working at the sheriff's office. So
Yeah.
look me up, bring me a book, give me a call. Bring me a
I'll do
book.
that.
I'll read it. I'll let you know. So
You can ask his office about it. If I tell you something as a man, I stand on that.
I always like to see people do good for themselves. So
Right.
we all came from a hard place, some harder than others. So anybody can get up out of it and make something of themselves, no matter how late in life it is.
Oh, yeah. One of my good friends did 8 years in prison for B&E. He was my neighbor. Now he owns a successful burger joint, has a beautiful wife, loves his life now. He ain't ever gone back to crime, got out, found a passion for cooking. That's what he does now, is he gets up every morning at 6 a.m., starts cooking breakfast, cooks all the way till afternoon.
Right.
He loves it.
Just a speedball.
Try not to let no speed bumps turn the bounds, man.
Absolutely.
Right.
It can happen quick.
Right. And you make a sudden irrational decision before you know it, man, one thing leads to another. And now you're stuck in this place for life.
It happened. Like I said, man, I've been working homicides for 8 years now. Okay. And I've seen, people just get mad, and stab their wife, kill their wife over some dumb shit, and ruin their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Or a guy that got cheated out of $15,000 shoot the other guy. He was the fire chief. The chief
Almost 30 years.
Yep, for almost 30 years, 55 years old. Had a bad business dealing with another guy. Ain't never been in no trouble. Shot him, killed him.
Wow.
Life in prison.
Mm-hmm. At 50 years old, first crime he ever committed was killing somebody.
Wow.
So, and I mean, as far as the selling dope and all that, moving dope.
It's over with.
Well, I don't give two shits about it. I know there's people out there that do, but you try to get your leg up in the world, trying to make a little bit of money. You ain't hurting nobody.
Hate to break it to you, homie, but you will be going back to prison and will definitely not be walking out of there in 5 years.
I'm gonna tell y'all guys something, to be honest with y'all. One thing that keep going through my mind is I hope I don't have a bunch of individuals sitting back saying, hey man, I seen Ray Rilla sitting up in the office with the police, man. You know what I'm saying? As if I'm in here telling on somebody or something, man. That's just going through my spirit.
Well, I ain't seen. Well, you walked in like 15 minutes after us.
Yeah, we've been sitting in here for a while, so.
Right. I mean, but I'm in prison, this environment. The first thing person I seen guy up in there with the police, he could have been in there telling on somebody, and I hope that time.
You tell them. They came to talk to me about a murder. I told them I didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, y'all got this court.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, and we ain't gonna walk out together,
Right.
If you were a dickhead, I might walk out with my arm around you and be like, oh man, I appreciate all the information, but you been cool, so
Right.
we'll leave before or after you. We ain't gonna walk out together. And the only people I've seen walk by here
Right.
are people that work here. I ain't seen, there ain't been no.
I mean, but I would be real with you, man. Even if you side up in here, man, just the look. It's the camera view.
Yeah.
And I have to tell people this all the time, man. Be mindful how other people view you, man. 'Cause
It's perception. Perception is reality.
Right.
So, you know, and like I said, you know, if we walk out and I got my arm around you and we're ribbing each other, you know, oh yeah, appreciate all the information. You know, that's bad perception, you know,
Right.
for you and for me, you know. So it's all about perception.
Right.
So that's why you tell them. I mean, hell, but
I
hey,
got you, fellas.
they came to talk to me about a homicide. You know, I told them I didn't know nothing about it. You know, they accused me of it or whatever.
Yeah.
But they,
And you got a perfect reason. They said, why were you in there so long? Well, it was count. They wouldn't let us leave.
Right.
Right? So,
I had to take that factor up under consideration as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody like, hey, what you got going on, man? You know, nobody want to talk to me or deal with me because they think I'm up in here giving out information about some things that they didn't told me. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know who else from Escambia County is locked up in here. You know, like I said, I mean, if they want to come, if you talk to anybody and want to come talk to me about a murder that happened in Escambia County that hasn't been solved, I'll talk to them. But other than that, I don't get two shits.
Nah, you won't have me leading that dog by the collar.
So, but that's what I was going to say earlier when I asked you about how long you've been in prison for. Because, you know, if you'd have done 8 years fed time and 10, 12 years
Wow.
state time by now, if you had information about a murder that could maybe get you out of here, would you not have come to us before now?
Sounds what you know, sir.
No, you'd have just done time.
Yes, sir. I always look at it like this in life, man. If I did something to get me in trouble, I drag the next man in. It's been real.
Yeah, but
And I said that on your camera and all, that on your recorder.
I mean, but if you could get some closure for a family,
Yeah.
Nah, that's important.
you know,
Like you said, that was an old man. He had a whole bunch of family members
Wow.
that cared about him. He had grandkids, nieces and nephews, everything, and trying to get them closure.
and
One of the reasons we're working it 26 years
Hey,
later.
y'all ain't doing that wrong. You're supposed to be doing the right thing.
So,
That's why I say, if I can help you in any way, I would. But specifically, if they say, hey, man, Jack, John, and Jim did it, I wouldn't be able to tell y'all nothing like that. Just being real with y'all. I'm going to tell you why I'm in prison. My family's still out there. And what I say can end up getting somebody hurt out there. And y'all know the murder rate plus going towards going through the roof.
I know it better than anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but
And I apologize about that. Not trying to live in no street code, but at the same time,
hey, listen,
I understand.
my family about
Protect the family.
hey, you ain't the only one. I deal with it on every case.
He's just been accused of a crime serious enough to give him a life sentence, yet his street credibility is what matters the most to him. A few months from now, however, when the walls begin to close in and reality sets in, this would be the least of his worries.
I got a buddy of mine that did 12 years state prison for a DUI manslaughter charge. He got drunk up on 9 Mile Road at Chan's and left. He was driving the wrong way and hit the lady head on, killed her. He walked away without any injuries, you know, and
She died.
she died, you know. And he kicks himself every day, you know. Obviously, he did his time. He did 12 years state prison. He's out now. He just got out last year. You know, he's got to live with that. You know, he took a life, you know, and it's different when you take a life because, you know, out of anger or because you have to, you know, in self-defense or, you know, for whatever reason. But when you accidentally kill somebody and you're not mad at them, you know, I could only imagine the pain and the guilt that you have to deal with.
Wow.
But
I got to tell people, I say there's certain lines of life, man, that once you cross, you can't cross back. So just be prepared for when you cross the line. I tell a woman, I say, once you have a child, you're a mother, you can never go back to being that woman again. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a mother now. I tell these guys up in here when they commit these homosexual acts, once you commit that act, regardless if you don't do it again, hey man, you committed a homosexual act, you felt that feeling. So, like to me, you will always be that person. What you do is your business, but my big dog, my big homie, tell me that's not how we supposed to go and do it. You know what I'm saying? And my big homie is God. And that's why I try to abide by. Even though I make mistakes, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody is.
But at the same time, I follow those rules the best way I can. And that's the only thing that got me to make it through as far as I am right now.
In Donald's words, he abides by the rules of the big homie, but we're pretty sure the Bible clearly says, "Thou shalt not kill." For now, Donald believes he is in the clear. But the detectives continue to dig further, and it's only a matter of time before they uncover another piece of evidence that seals his fate. After the interrogation with Donald, the detectives resumed digging and discovered a witness who identified Donald from a photographic lineup. Unfortunately, this witness, who was central to the case prosecutors were building, passed away shortly after. Due to the absence of a witness or confession to back up the bloody fingerprint, the prosecutor's case was minimal at best. Prosecutors knew that their chances of winning stood low, so they decided to make a deal with Donald, a plea of no contest in exchange for a reduced sentence. On March 12, 2025, Donald pleaded no contest to manslaughter with a firearm. He was sentenced to 12 years behind bars, which would run concurrently with the 20 years he is presently serving. During the trial, Davis's family, who were unaware of the plea deal, expressed shock and disappointment at the judge's ruling. They described the suspect's crime as a miscarriage of life and a brutal stain to the family's lineage. Both the judge and the chief deputy state attorney attested to the fact that the sentence wasn't befitting for the crime. However, to avoid the possibility of Donald getting away altogether due to the lack of a solid case, prosecutors settled for a lesser sentence. To date, no one knows why Donald shot Davis, as he never fully admitted to the crime. It's disappointing to know that after waiting 26 years, the victim's family will never get the closure or the justice that they deserve. Our hearts go out to all those affected by Davis's death. We hope that they find the internal closure they need to move on. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here.